Welcome back. We're live, everybody. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden here on Fire Your MD Now Radio, the Genesis Communications Network, coming at you live from Western Canada, Central Alberta. I love this province. I do. I love Alberta. It's a great place. We got some really tough people around here, guys working in the oil patch. Tough guys. But what I'm seeing is people are breaking down at an unprecedented rate. We have a socialized healthcare system here in Canada, and I realize that a lot of my listeners are in the United States. I'd say probably the majority. But the fact of the matter is, you guys got it coming down the pipe, and you might as well know exactly what you have coming. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. I'm going to tell you what happens when you hand your hard-earned cash and labor over to unnamed boards and bureaucrats. They take your money, and they claim that they're going to do what's best for you, and they leave you flat-footed. Now, if you have a scrape on your finger and you're one of those people that goes running to the doctor every time something happens or you got a slight pain here or there, the system works great. It works great. I mean, really, if there's really not much wrong with you, it works awesome. But what happens when you have a severe breakdown? I'll tell you what happens. You get put on a waiting list. Now, when I was a kid, during the Ralph Klein years here in Alberta, we constantly heard this tagline, "We will not have a two-tiered healthcare system in Alberta," because there was a lot of people that wanted to privatize because the system just couldn't keep up with it, and it was already buckling back then. Costs were astronomical. Taxes are going up. Alberta spends $1.4 million per hour on health care. And what kind of health care do you get with that? Well, if you got a heart condition, we'll give you an aspirin. If there's anything wrong with you at all, we will most definitely throw an SSRI reuptake inhibitor at you, because most likely you're depressed at the fact that you're not getting better and the best medical science in the world, so-called, can't help you out. Call in line is 1-844-374-5433. Once again, 1-844-374-5433. Call us up. Talk to us about anything you want to talk to at all. This show is about you. It's not about me. I will talk a little bit about what I've been doing lately with longevity and helping my community and my family get their health back. But first of all, I want to talk about a major fail in scientific research when it comes to health care. Now, normally, that wouldn't be a big deal. But this affects people's lives. And they're breaking down. So I'm going to go through this story for this first segment, and in the second segment, we're going to take your calls. Haywood, Soledad, hang on, stay where you're at. I see you, and we're going to talk to you. Fox News is reporting scientists question link between saturated fat and heart disease. Well, you've been told that your whole life. Don't eat fat, don't eat meat, don't eat butter. Saturated fat does not cause heart disease, or so concluded a big study published in March of the journal Annals of Internal Medicine. How could this be? Could it be that we were wrong for the last, since 1950? How could it be? The very cornerstone of dietary advice for generations, maybe one, has been that the saturated fats in butter, cheese, and red meat should be avoided because they clog your arteries. For many diet-conscious Americans, it's simply second nature to opt for chicken over sirloin and canola oil over butter. Well, I'm working on that canola oil thing. I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of people around here having miraculous health recoveries. And they're eating butter over oil in a bottle. The new study's conclusions shouldn't surprise anyone familiar with modern nutritional science. However, the fact is, there's never been solid evidence for the idea that these fats cause disease. We only believe this to be the case. And get this, I like how they word this here, Because nutrition policy has been derailed over the past half century by a mixture of personal ambition, bad science, politics, and bias. Our distrust of saturated fat can be traced back to the 1950s, to a man named Ansel Benjamin Keyes, scientist at the University of Minnesota. Keyes was formidably persuasive, and through sheer force of will rose to the top of the nutrition world, even gracing the cover of Time magazine for relentlessly championing the idea that saturated fats raise cholesterol and as a result cause heart attacks. But you were on Time magazine's cover, big deal, so was Hitler. And this guy, through his phony, crappy advice, has probably killed almost as many people. So, you got this guy, he's like the bully scientist. He's going around taking the other scientists' lunch money, and giving them wedgies. He's pushing this idea that saturated fat causes heart attacks. As the director of the largest nutrition study to date, Keyes was in an excellent position to promote his idea. Not only that, he was surrounded by a bunch of foam rubber backbone intellectual cowards. The seven countries study that he conducted on nearly 13,000 men in the U.S., Japan, and Europe ostensibly demonstrated that heart disease wasn't the inevitable result of aging, but could be linked to poor nutrition. Well, he's right about that. Critics have pointed out, and this is good, okay? They're going to tell you why scientists are just now starting to question this. And then they're going to tell you exactly the reasons, which are very good ones, which have been around since 1950. For one, he didn't choose countries randomly, but instead selected only those likely to prove his beliefs, including Yugoslavia, Finland, and Italy. Excluded were France, land of the famously healthy omelet eater, as well as other countries where people consumed a lot of fat, yet didn't suffer from high rates of heart disease, like Switzerland, Sweden, West Germany. The study's star subjects upon whom much of our current understanding of the Mediterranean diet is based were peasants from Crete, islanders who tilled their fields, went into old age, and appeared to eat very little meat or cheese. So get this. As it turns out, Keyes visited Crete during an unrepresentative period of extreme hardship after World War II, so they didn't have much food. Furthermore, he made the mistake of measuring the islanders' diet partly during Lent, when they were foregoing meat and cheese. Keyes therefore undercounted their consumption of saturated fat. Also, due to problems with the studies, he ended up relying on data from just a few dozen men, far from the representative sample of 655 that he had initially selected. So this guy cherry-picked his data, and even cherry-picked it further after he cherry-picked it in the first place. These flaws weren't revealed until much later in a 2002 paper by scientists investigating the work on Crete. But by then, the misimpression left by his erroneous data had become international dogma. You hear me? Dogma. You don't trust saturated fat. You don't trust in eating butter and fatty foods and meat because you have a religion. You don't know why. You just know that that's what everybody else believes, and the Cheerios commercial told me, so I need to believe it. Other studies ensued. A half dozen large important trials pitted a high diet in vegetable oil, usually corn or soybean, but no olive oil, against one with more animal fats. But these trials, mainly from the 1970s, also had serious methodological problems. Some didn't control for smoking, for instance, or allowed men to wander in and out of the research group over the course of the experiment. The results were unreliable at best. But there was no turning back. Too much institutional energy and research money had already been spent trying to prove Keyes' hypothesis. It's wrong, but we got to keep going. A bias in its favor had grown so strong that the idea just started to seem like common sense. as Harvard nutrition professor Mark Hegstead said in 1977, after successfully persuading the U.S. Senate to recommend Key's diet for the entire nation, the question wasn't whether Americans should change their diets, but, hey, why not? Important benefits can be expected, he argued. The risks? That was his answer. In fact, even back then, other scientists were warning about the diet's potential unintended consequences. Today, we're dealing with the reality that these have come to pass. One consequence is that cutting back on fats, blah, 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 they go on with a bunch of more erroneous information. See, they're ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You know, and if you're a guy like me, I surf the net daily looking for health news because, number one, I've got a show to do every Friday. But it's easy. It really is. They almost do my job for me because they're constantly coming out with reasons why the things that we believe that have been propagated by the pharmaceutical industry and by the MDs are killing us. They're not just killing you. You're going to kill your kids. Going to kill your dad. Going to kill your mom. How do you like that? They're going to kill you. They're going to slow you down and keep you from your maximum potential. I believe Thomas Jefferson once said, I have sworn before the altar of God, never-ending hostility toward every form of tyranny over the minds of men. Eternal hostility towards every form of tyranny over the minds of men. And if you get a medical, government-established dogma coming along and teaching you things that are going to kill you, well, I got eternal hostility towards that. Mike Phillips, filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to take your calls back after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillips, filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Getting ready to take some calls here, but before I do, I'd just like to send out a reminder. If you are in Alberta or anywhere in Canada or the United States for that matter, you've got a number you can call to get a member of Team Glidden. That's 1-800-705-6892. Once again, that's 1-800-705-6892. And we are dedicated to helping you build a business and help you get back the health of your family, your community, your country, and therefore building things up for everybody. We're going to go over to Haywood in North Carolina. Haywood, can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. What's on your mind today?
All right. Well, I got a quick question. My father had got a call from his doctor, and they said that he was on stage 4 and he was heading for dialysis. However, his the specialist didn't mention anything about it. So we got his doctor saying one thing, and the specialist is saying something else. But we had watched one of Dr. Wallach's videos, and it was talking about taking the Ultimate Daily. And but we did see the warning about the MAO inhibitors. Uh-huh. And he is taking Xanax and the sertraline. So we were trying to figure out, is there something else that he can take in place of that, or is there something else he can do to get rid of the Xanax and the sertraline?
You know, it's funny that you brought that up because, number one, you mentioned the Ultimate Daily. That's the first thing that popped in my head when you started talking. Not only that, but Xanax. I'm going to be reading a story in a little bit here from CNN about emergency rooms seeing increased visits from problems with Xanax. Now, here's the deal. You can't just drop a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Okay, you can't do that. Now, anything in a Healthy Start pack, like if your dad's got kidney problems, it's not going to interfere with the drugs, okay? Mm-hmm. Nothing in there is going to hurt him. But what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to talk to his pharmacist and mention that he's doing better and feeling better once he does, and ask him about weaning off those drugs because, frankly, people can go nuts if they just quit cold turkey. It's a dangerous thing to do, and you've got to get some professional advice on how to do it. The good news is that I was hanging out with Dr. Wallach, and we were talking about kidneys specifically, pardon me, and he told me that he's never seen a kidney that was actually done, just clogged. And once you get your body nutrified properly, that kidney will actually clean itself up and start working again. So you're going to want to get your dad. Have you been listening to this show for a while, Haywood?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what Dr. Glidden would tell you about the 10 bad food list. Do you have a copy of that?
Yes. Yeah. I just had them on your webinar that you did not too long ago.
Okay, you watched the webinar on kidneys.
The good and bad foods?
Yeah, that's perfect. You know what? A guy like you and me, I'm not a doctor, right? I host this show, but what I am is a good student. And that means I listen to Dr. Glidden's show every day. I watch the webinars. I'm an insider. And that gives me the ammunition that I need to go out and tackle these problems. Now, if you can find a good pharmacist that's willing to work with you, I see no reason why you cannot get your dad's health back and get him off those drugs. You and I, we don't know how far is too far. Only God knows that. But how old is your dad?
63, I believe.
63, okay. Well, I don't think that's too late. I've seen people in their 60s start on this and come out of the weeds in their health in not too long of a period of time. But definitely tell your dad to give it 90 days. Follow that 10 bad food list like a religion, okay? Not like the religion of not eating saturated fats I was just talking about, but one that actually has science to back it up, which the 10 bad food list does. And let's see what we can do for your dad. Keep in touch with the show. So, Haywood, how long have you been using the products?
I've been on about a year. And
what have you noticed? What's going on with you?
Well, they had diagnosed me with diabetes, and they had told me to take metformin. And I looked at, what the side effects were, and I was like, I wasn't having that. So I got on the products, and I think like maybe 4 weeks, my numbers were good. So I haven't taken any kind of medication in over a year.
Haywood is kicking butt in North Carolina, and he's going to help his dad, and he conquered diabetes on his own. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Glidden, back with Soledad and Gary right after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. The call-in line is 844-374-5433 or 844 Dr. Glidden, DRGLIDDEN. Now, as I mentioned before, we got a call line here for Team Glidden, 1-800-705-6892. You want to talk about longevity products, how to get your health back, how to save a child? 1-800-705-6892. And we are a dedicated group. We want to help you. We want to build you up. This is my mission in life. I was always kind of a crazy guy, but there was something that I was supposed to do. I just didn't know what it was. Well, when I found longevity and I saw people getting better all around me, not only that, but getting my own health back. There was a time when I couldn't hardly breathe. I'd probably be on oxygen today if longevity didn't come along, but it did. And I thank God for that. Haywood in North Carolina got over diabetes. How many people do you know that can say that they got over their own diabetes? Well, I'll tell you what, I know a few. We're going to go over to Soledad in Connecticut after that, Gary in East Lake. Soledad, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
How you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very happy. It's my first time calling.
Well, I'm glad you did. What's on your mind, Soledad?
All right, I have two questions about thyroid. The first one, the product was sold. I became a distributor this past March, and so one of the people below me made a sale to this young woman who has a sister in Jordan, and the sister has an overactive thyroid. And she's only 26 years old. She's been having this issue since she was 15. She's 143 pounds. And the doctors in Jordan told her that the thyroid has to be removed completely. And then on top of that, they told her that they cursed her because they told her she would never be able to have children. So, you know, and I'm just looking for, this is what she bought. The Healthy Start Pack, the selenium, the Z-Radical, and the Mirror Oil. And then I sent her the 10 bath foods. I have given her a lot of information because we work together. Anybody who's selling something, then I do the research or whatever. So I'm sending all the information to them. I have still to send her a video that I found. I became an insider this week. So I found a video about taking the supplements, so I still have to send her that. So I have done as much as I can, but I don't know what to answer to that question about having her thyroid removed.
Well, here's the deal. I don't believe that if it was me, let me put it this way, if it was me, I would wait and see what the products do. Now, it sounds, Soledad, like you're super awesome, and you've pretty much done my job for me because I would have said the exact same thing for what she's going to be taking. Now, it might take a little while. It might take a little while. But
about how long can I give hope to the sister who is here in the United States to tell the sister to hold on because I kept giving her, you know, to envision herself. I told her about, you know, talking to the thyroid because she's about to receive the products in about a week. I told her, you know, just rub your thyroid and talk to it and you know, so many things. So about how long do you think? So I can give her sister at least a little glimmer or something.
Yeah, tell her to give it 90 days. There's a saying in longevity, and that's 90 for life, okay? That 90 covers 90 essential vitamins, minerals, and amino and fatty acids, but give it at least 90 days. When's she scheduled for surgery? Has that come up yet?
I don't know. She's still going to the doctors, and I'm trying because something similar happened to me. I went for a hysterectomy, and the doctor decided just to remove everything and give me a total hysterectomy without my permission. And so I know what it's to lose your organs, you know. That
Whoa, wait a minute, Soledad. They gave you a hysterectomy without your permission?
A total hysterectomy.
Without your permission?
Yeah, I was supposed to go only for a fibroid. And at that time, that was in 1997. And so I didn't know. I just didn't know. I kept searching for information. I could not. And so I just went for the hysterectomy. And then she took me into the operating room, and she fully removed everything. And then after I woke up from the anesthesia, she just said to me, well, I want to let you know I removed everything because to prevent cancer.
Oh, wow. So did you sue him?
No. And,
I would have.
But I do have, that was a long time back, and I need to get that thing over with. And one of these days, I got her address, her phone number, and I'm going to go back to that town, and I want to see her in person. I just want to let her know what she has put me through because I've been having a thyroid issue for about 30 years now, and my issue is that I have an underactive thyroid, and I have gone through quite a lot with it. And I believe that between the hysterectomy and doctors over-medicating me and doing things to me, and I lost 20 pounds that I didn't need to lose. 30 pounds from the doctors. I just lost 20 pounds in this year only from just bad medication. They brought me down from 112 to 92 pounds. Plus another 10 pounds they had because originally I was about 122, 123. So they brought me all the way down, the doctors, down to 92 pounds. And now I'm raising my weight, and now I'm between 99 and 100, and I keep raising it little by little. So my question to you about me is because this is something that I every day, because those are the only, I take Cytonel and Synthroid, and I just want to know what can I do? I mean, because I would like to be completely off medication, but I took myself off the medication last year, and my body went through something really horrible. I felt fine for about 2 or 3 months. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden I took a big dive. So right now I'm back on medication for the last few months or whatever, and so I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. How long have you been taking the products?
The products, I started taking them in about the middle of March, but I started with the liquid minerals. I took the FX because supposedly I have osteoporosis, and the OsteoXX, and I took I bought the colloidal silver, I bought the enzymes, the FAAs. I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm trying, and now for this month, what I'm going to order is going to be all for the digestive system, because this medication that they continue to give me are destroying my. I get it well with the products and everything, and it goes back to zero again.
Yeah. So they've kind of backed you into a corner where you have to keep taking their meds and going back to them, otherwise you get sick. Meanwhile, they've removed stuff from your body without even asking you. I mean, talk about I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah. What you're going to have to do is keep going the same way that you have, okay, and see how you feel. I was the same thing with Haywood I was talking to here. I've got a lady locally here who, and this is unrelated, but it's kind of along the same lines. She's on 20 different medications. She was about 20% kidney use, and they were going to put her on dialysis. And the day she ordered her products, and the day that they got here, she ended up in the hospital with a stroke before she even tried them. So, ideally, I would like to see people get on with the program before they get sick, but that didn't happen with you. My advice to you, if it was me, I'd keep doing what I'm doing and watch for changes. Keep in touch with the show and talk to Dr. Glidden. As for your friend, I would have her watch. You're an insider, right? So you can bring up your insider account anywhere there's an internet connection. So have your friend watch the thyroid health webinar with you, because you don't want her to go through the same thing that you went through.
Yes.
So, and here's the deal, Soledad, if she doesn't listen, then she doesn't listen, right? I mean, I deal with people I deal with people all the time. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, but you're going to have to shoot the horse after it gets its leg cut off from diabetes. And it's sad, but honestly, Soledad, what I'd like to see you do is use your life to make sure that this doesn't happen to any other young girl again. Like this friend of yours, she's way too young to be going through this. Her thyroid should be functioning normally. I mean, if I could add anything to what you told me, I would suggest the Ocean's Gold from Youngevity because of the iodine. Okay, iodine's very, very important for thyroid function. And if they're just going to cut her thyroid out, that's going to leave her having to take medication to balance out her hormones for the rest of her life. And that's what we want to avoid.
That's what they told her, that she's going to have to take medication, just like they told me with the Hashimoto. That's what I have. And they say for the rest of my life. And I don't like that sentence. I don't like nobody to curse me that way, especially a doctor. I believe that the thyroid, if you work with it, if you work with the organs of your body, they can be restored to this natural, the way that they're supposed to function. And that's
the way that God intended. The way that God intended for you to work.
Exactly.
Soledad, I salute you for reaching out to your friend, and you've got a story to tell, and you need to use that story to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else. Now, as far as what they did to you, Dr. Wallach is fond of saying you can't undo surgery. What's done is done. However, I would like you to keep an eye on things and monitor your own health. I'm rooting for you, Soledad. I really hope you can get it back. So take that webinar, show it to your friend, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't get any positive results, okay, like you say, you'll get good for a little while, and then you're taking a nosedive. I would up what you're doing. And then when you start getting better results, keep an eye on how you feel with your medication and talk to your pharmacist about getting off of it. Soledad, I'm backing you. I know it doesn't mean much all the way coming here from Canada, and I've never met you, but I actually care about how you do here. And I want you to keep in touch with the show. Call back when Dr. Glidden's on. I realize you're a first-time caller. But let's see if we can get you out of the weeds and help your friend. This should not happen to any girl ever. So your doctor actually removed things from you while you were under sedation and then told you it was for your own good after. Well, you know what? I would be suing to, oh man, I'm telling you. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. I hear the music. That means we got a break coming up. Soledad, we're going to let you go. Call back in. Keep up the good fight. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Back after this. Hey, Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden on Fire Your MD Now radio on the Genesis Communications Network. And I just got a text from my good friend Mike in Ottawa, Ontario. And I'm going to give you an acronym, okay? SUAEI. Okay? SUAEI. This is a method of supplement ingestion. You know what that stands for? Shut up and take it. Shut up and eat it, sorry. SUAEI. Remember that and you'll always do well. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. 844-374-5433 is the call-in line. Or if you want to get in touch with Team Glidden, 1-800-705-6892. We're interested in helping you get your health back, and we're interested in helping you build a business if that's what you want to do. Let's go over to Gary in East Lake. Gary, how you doing?
Very fine, Mike. Glad you're here. I wasn't aware that anyone was on besides Dr. Glidden.
Yeah, well, you know what? Dr. Glidden's a really busy guy, and he needed somebody to cover for him, and I've been doing the show for periodically for about the last year, but now I'm the Friday guy. So what's on your mind today, Gary?
Okay, I'm about ready to sign up a lady out of town on a Healthy Start Pack for diabetes. But in the meantime, she says, well, I've got 4 other people in my prayer group that are looking for infertility help. And I thought, whoops, I better get up to speed. And the Dead Doctors Don't Lie has just got a short little paragraph. What can you tell me on how I can get fortified before I make the call for the visit to these 4 people?
Okay, there's an old saying in longevity. I don't know if you've heard this, but that old saying goes that Dr. Joel Wallach has gotten more women in America pregnant than any other guy.
Oh, wonderful.
Listen, a large part of your body in women's bodies is devoted to procreation. Okay, we're made to multiply. So if they're having a hard time with that, there's a problem. Now, the good part of that is it's easy to get their reproductive health back. Now, what I would tell them, hormones are made of cholesterol. Okay? Hormones consist of cholesterol, so those people are going to be wanting to eat about 8 to 10 eggs a day. And the most important part of that little equation there is the yolk of the egg containing the cholesterol. Tell them to boil it for about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And if they can't get the whole egg down, just the yolk, 10 of them a day. And for women, I would suggest a Healthy Start Pack, the HGH Youth Complex, okay? HGH Youth Complex. And for men, a Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds body weight and 1 bottle of Prost FX. And if that doesn't kickstart things, I'll eat my hat. And even if they don't end up procreating, they'll have a lot of fun trying. How's that sound?
Mike, what did you say after the Healthy Start Pack? Something complex?
The Healthy Start Pack. For women, I would suggest the Healthy Start Pack with the HGH Youth Complex. HGH Youth Complex.
Okay, I got it.
All right, that's real good for hormone health. Not only that, 8 to 10 eggs a day. Lots of cholesterol. Hormones are made of cholesterol. Okay? They want the calcium in the OsteoFX for thyroid health. That's a big regulator of hormones right there. Okay? Now, did you hear what I was saying about the guys?
Run it once more, if you would.
Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds body weight. 1 bottle of Prost FX per 100 pounds body weight per month. And 8 to 10 eggs a day.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so Gary, this is your church group?
No, it's the lady that I'm signing up because of diabetes, and she says something about immediately. Well, I've got a prayer group.
Right. So that came up. Okay, you know what? Churches are the best for dealing with longevity. They really are. Gary, stay there. I want to talk to you after the break, and then we're going to go over to Henderson in New York. We got a hard break coming up, so hang around. I want to talk to you. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after this.